More disturbing Diddy news. Now, 2 private investigators, possibly ones who were hired by Diddy himself from prison, are searching to find TikTokers and YouTubers that are covering his crimes independently. One of them is Amla Ekpunobi, formerly of PragerU. She posted a video saying, 2 private investigators came to question me about my coverage of Diddy and his celebrity connections. WTF.
Let's watch this video.
2 private investigators just visited a place I used to live in search of me, and they were coming to ask me whether or not I've been paid to talk about P. Diddy and his connection to other celebrities on my show. Now, luckily, the person I used to live with called me on the phone so I could talk to these guys. They did not immediately disclose that they were private investigators. I had to coax that out of them through being quite hostile to them throughout the conversation. But they kept bringing...
Mary's like, this would have been my Super Bowl. I would have loved this.
I love it.
Bringing up my content that I made in regard to P. Diddy and his connection to other celebrities. They would not say who they were working for and who had hired them to come and travel around to these different influencers. But they did say that they would be going to multiple influencers who are talking about the stories to figure out whether or not they're being paid by a specific entity to share them. Now, I am definitely not paid to talk about what I talk about on my channel, but they said not only would they pay me to disclose who I was being paid by, but they would pay me more than whatever I was getting to share the opposite story. I don't know who these guys were. I don't even know if they were telling the truth, but they did say there were 10 other influencers that they were going to be visiting. So I'm putting this out there in case this happens to anybody else. And I will be going more in depth as to what happened on my show today in case you want any further information. But this is very, very strange.
Tomorrow on PCC, Diddy falsely accused.
It sounds incredibly fishy to me. We got a 20 from VWit. Just took a shit ton of melatonin and looking to fall asleep, so to Mary's sweet voice or Brett, I'll take either. Well, Brett has a sweeter voice.
Thank you
than
for
me.
That.
TMZ covered this. The same 2 private investigators also went to visit a TikToker who was making content about Diddy, and Amala found out their names are Robert James and Peter Deegan. So that's all that's known about them. We don't know who's paying them, but they're going around trying to find people's private residences to see who is paying them. When in reality, these people are just, you know, covering a matter of public interest.
Yeah.
And which they're perfectly allowed to do.
It's also, it kind of speaks to their mindset that they think that somebody had to be paying them rather than the idea that they would cover something that the public finds interesting and make money that way.
Yeah, so I guess let's take a look at this video from the TikToker Samson Krupin is his name?
Is that this one?
My private home asking about influencers? This is very uncomfortable, you guys.
I don't know why. I'll explain.
No, you're at my home.
Okay, so you don't want to talk to us then?
Have I broken some law?
Absolutely not.
And you have the thin blue, this is frightening. I think, can you guys step away from my home?
We're in a public street, so the answer is no. But I'm really not trying to give you a hard time.
Why are you here? What do you mean? You're showing up at my house.
We're very nice and respectful, and we will be. I just have 2 quick questions for you, and if you want to be interested in it, great. If not, I'll have a nice day. We're not...
What is this? This is odd.
So...
You have to admit this is very weird.
It always is, and people always ask us the same questions. I'm happy to explain it to you.
What?
Very simply, we were just hired to speak to a few people that do, you know, have a lot of followers, stuff like that, on different platforms.
What, is this about the Diddy stuff I report on?
Somewhat, yes. Not necessarily Diddy.
Somewhat.
But, you know, people are involved in...
You know, it might have been a little bit to do with Diddy, maybe not.
They're super sketchy. Yeah. What's their deal? Like, they're definitely hired by Diddy, right?
I mean,
it seems that way.
Or attorneys that are looking to...
Or Diddy's legal team, I guess.
Yeah.
Who are using them to go around and find where people live.
It is.
Who knows? Maybe they're going to visit us.
Did the influencer guy say something about the guy having a thin blue line?
He didn't say line. He just said thin blue and then trailed off.
It sounded like he was going to say thin blue line. He's like, oh, the cops. Run.
But they're not cops. They don't have the authority to search your home or go to your home and question you. They're just 2 random people who were paid to do this.
I also think that the guy who made the video, who is obviously an influencer who makes money off of this type of stuff, was kind of hamming it up to turn it into content.
I mean, I can't blame him. No. It's super weird.
He's like, cha-ching.
Yeah, and Diddy is just sitting in his jail cell with way too much time on his hands thinking about his persona, how his public perception is faring these days, because he doesn't have a smartphone to see that he's basically a meme now.
Yeah.
Like he is.
No, he's
his name is synonymous with freak offs now.
They keep searching his cell, and I think they found cell phones and stuff, and he's using other people's stuff.
In an effort to convince a judge not to grant Diddy bail, the prosecutors claim that Diddy is leading a relentless campaign to blackmail witnesses from jail, but that could also include intimidating independent journalists who are covering his case.
Yeah, there's a 20 there from Weary Traveler.
He said, only heavy hitters listen to PCC. I hope these guys come and question y'all while you're live. I would love that.
I would like to ask them
that would be amazing.
What their favorite Bad Boy Records artist was, and why is it Mace?
It says prosecutors filed a motion late Friday in response to one filed by Combs requesting a bail hearing. And in the latest filing, prosecutors claim that Diddy has made relentless efforts to contact potential witnesses, including victims of his abuse, who could provide powerful testimony against him.
He's like, look, he just wants to double check. He just wants to make sure that they saw what they thought they saw. He's just being nice. Come on, Diddy wouldn't have ulterior motives, would he?
So they found out that Diddy is accused of using phone access codes known as PAC numbers of the other inmates in his jail to contact several people, including his sons, from his cell, and he has made, quote, 3-way calls to contact other individuals. They alleged that he has used a third-party communication service called Contact Me ASAP to contact unauthorized individuals, but we don't know about what. Prosecutors referenced the case of an October call between Combs and one of his adult sons as an example of his alleged efforts to contact witnesses, but specifics were redacted. However, they claim the call provides clear inference that the defendant's goal is to blackmail victims and witnesses either into silence or into providing testimony that's helpful to his defense.
Yeah.
But that doesn't just include witnesses or alleged victims. Apparently
YouTubers as well. They want
YouTubers and TikTokers as well.
One of the fastest ways that they would be able to try and change the narrative around this would be to try and get YouTubers on their side if they could find them to be pliable in some way. Look, I don't think that that's going to work in the case of YouTubers that are off working for themselves. They're gonna do better long-term reporting on the stuff they want to report on, and getting involved in this at a deeper level is insane.
Well, this can only help their
exactly.
own public presence. And they noted that one of Diddy's efforts to change public perception of him on social media was one of his sons, Justin, posting a video of them singing happy birthday to him while he's in his jail cell.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was earlier this month, actually. He celebrated his birthday from jail.
Yep.
So he's not doing too well. He's going off the deep end a little bit. And at the same time that this is happening, the attorney from Texas, Tony Busby, who's representing over 100 alleged victims
just showed up out of
Diddy,
nowhere one day.
Yeah, this lawyer is now getting a lawsuit filed against him by one unnamed celebrity that he was quote unquote threatening. This says an unnamed celebrity filed an extortion lawsuit against Tony Busby, who represents over 100 Diddy's alleged abuse victims, claiming that Tony Busby is threatening to file a lawsuit containing wildly false, horrific allegations if the anonymous bigwig doesn't pay up. So this says Busby is shamelessly attempting to extort exorbitant sums from him by threatening to unleash entirely fabricated and malicious allegations of sexual assault. The celebrity's attorneys claim this is textbook extortion. He pretends to be speaking the truth to power, but that is far from the truth. These vile claims include that the unnamed celebrity has raped multiple minors, both male and female, who had been drugged at parties hosted by Combs. If the celebrity didn't agree to, quote, confidential mediation, meaning a settlement payout,
money,
Tony Busby allegedly warned that he would, quote, take a different course. The plaintiff presently faces a gun to his head, either repeatedly pay exorbitant sums of money or face the threat of an untold number of civil suits and financial and personal ruin, meaning they're accusing Tony Busby of lawfare against Diddy's associates.
What did Ray J call it when we were talking about the other day? Catch and kill?
Mm-hmm.
Is basically you're paying out because it's the price of doing business as a celebrity.
Now, Busby responded to this in a statement saying he won't allow the powerful or high-dollar lawyers to intimidate him or silence sexual assault survivors. It's obvious that the frivolous lawsuit filed against my firm is an aggressive attempt to intimidate or silence me and ultimately my clients. That effort is a gross miscalculation. I'm a U.S. Marine. I won't be silenced or intimidated, neither will my clients. And since our professional efforts at resolution obviously have failed, we'll instead disclose the demand letters we sent at the time we filed suit. I don't think he's revealed who the unnamed celebrity is yet, though.
Yeah. He must be making a fortune off
It is weird, though, right?
Actually, no, he wouldn't be making a fortune off of it now. Likely he would make a fortune off of it based on settlements, right? Like he'd end up getting the majority of the settlements.
Or some percentage of them, for
Yeah.
sure. It is odd to me that this attorney from Texas, he's not from New York, he's not from LA, he's not really a celebrity lawyer. I haven't heard of him before.
Yeah.
Just showed up one day, and now he's representing over 100 people who claim they were abused by Diddy.
Yep.
I mean, I think there's plenty of evidence
Where's Camille
against Diddy.
Vasquez?
But it is weird, right?
Yeah.
He's just this random guy who showed up on the scene. I said I want him and Camille Vasquez to have a reality show together.
I mean, I think at the end of all of this, he ends up, being a legal analyst, a more frequent legal analyst on big shows and stuff like that.
I bet some of the people he's representing are fakes.
Oh yeah, like I don't
That's
buy
just a
for a
numbers
second.
game.
I don't buy for a second that every single one of these claims is real. I believe that there's probably a preponderance of evidence that shows that a lot of them are. But look, the allure of quick money is sometimes too much to withstand for a lot of people. So I
Especially
don't
with
doubt it for
a
second.
righteous cause supposedly behind it.
Well, yeah, they think people will ask less questions when it's a righteous cause.
But yeah, the attempt of censorship and intimidation against the social media influencers is the most interesting part to me.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.